one thing to say it's a 7-foot-tall, old alien that has very long arms and a face that opens up and screams. But then you have to figure out, how are you going to do that?
This character is Screecher. This is one of the eye mechanisms I'm just finishing up right now. It's a typical eye mechanism with a blink. This will be tracking when the eye moves. The lids will track with it. That's in the program on the radio I haven't put in yet. The eye looks around, does its normal thing, and then when she gets upset, her eyes have to bulge out, so the lids will open all the way. And when she opens up, the eye can still look around.
Everyone settle. Set. And action.
And there's something about having that practical effects in a film that the audiences really respond to.
Unhand me!
You can bounce off someone in a scene, but Legacy has created these insane, exquisite creatures.
Can I just do it from the arm again one time?
Yeah. We're not working with a tennis ball, we're not working with a blue screen, we're like working with a creature. It makes it really fun.
You ready?
The stunt team, one of them will be wearing this massive, crazy alien mask, and I'll recognize their voice, and I'll be like, oh, hi, I know you, this is crazy.
And Legacy have been so playful with their aliens.
Action.
The craftsmanship is insane.
Big fan of practical. So our key aliens was Legacy. There'll be some little bit of CG augmentation if necessary, but for the most part, it's in camera.
Every detail feels so flawless. I cannot believe the work and effort bringing this to life.
I didn't quite understand the enormity of the world building. We go to different planets, there's 5 different languages. Kryptonash. All of the different species of aliens, and from the ground up, you're kind of starting with a blank page, which actually was quite exciting. I'll cue your line, I'll say alien.
What made it different was they're not humans, but Craig brought an accessible humanity to the aliens. Frankly, in their wardrobe, they feel like us, like one of our aliens could sit next to me and I just have a conversation with her and it would feel pretty normal.
Anytime you're not on Earth is fun. When you get to think of things that nobody's ever thought of or ever seen, for artists like everybody here at Legacy, it really does get the creative juices flowing, and it's a little more fulfilling too, because you get to really put your stamp on something.
This was not a typical superhero movie. In a world where people do sometimes talk about superhero fatigue, that fatigue comes from a sameness, and that will not be something people will be able to accuse this film of having.
Not gonna happen.
So many alien-type films, it's hard to kind of create something new and different, but I feel we did.
Wow. Different aliens in the show.
We met actually at Legacy, and you get to see all the animatronics, stuff that you just don't normally see in movies anymore.
Didn't it blink? I thought, oh, that is crazy. What?
It was really cool to feel like it's almost had a Star Wars-esque kind of vibe where everything's in front of you. Everything we're shooting is like right there. As an actor, you get a feast on it.
It was very impressive.
There was a scene in the wormhole bus where a spider comes onto the seat in front of me and Cara, and that was a puppet controlled by men in blue suits. And the light on his head actually was glowing, so it made you feel like you were really interacting with it.
You get on this bus, and it's 40 different aliens in this bus, and they're all totally different and wild and crazy.
All of the creatures are extracted from how they play in the script. You note what their functions are, and then you start having conversations with Craig about what he sees, and he has an array of ideas of what they are, where they come from. So that creative process molds into the functionality of how we're going to do it, because there will be a moment in time where we will be on set and it has to perform. It can't take a long time to get ready. It can't take up a lot of space.
And it's a big collaboration with costumes and with Peter Sword King.
I worked with them on Superman, so I had a working relationship with them before we came here. We talk a lot. What are you doing? This is what I'm doing.
This film, we've been much more interconnected because the process of dividing and conquering, he has a vast number of aliens to do. We have a vast number of aliens to do. The worlds intermix to a certain degree. He's a tremendous person to collaborate with.
It was just really exciting to do, then suddenly see it come to life.
So, Crack,
and then putting them in their costumes and everything else and actually seeing the full character. And it's like when we got to the wormhole bus, which is completely full of everything. I remember Craig coming to say, oh, this looks really good, it really looks good. And we all were sitting there amazed. Go, oh, we've done that. It was great for the team.
We were on the same wavelength, that there was never a problem between us. And the costumes were complicated. Somehow we all had the same ideas. The colors worked, the style works. It was great.
The hideous alien is built on a very tall actor that can perform stunts as well as act.
I wasn't working with a man in a blue suit. I was working with someone who was really, really sweaty under this big alien costume. Oh, you're an angry fella, aren't you?
A mouthful of teeth and a tongue that's moving and drool and slime, and it's designed to be frightening.
And then bring it up and smoke it in the left side.
The smoking alien,
Gum?
the animated head that we made, has ports in the back, so it's a cued time where he's inhaling some smoke and then it exhales out the back of his head.
Maybe give us all a break from that hookah thingy.
And there's bellows on the top of the head that kind of look like they're undulating. It has sort of a pufferfish aquatic look to it. It's very translucent, tentacles on the face.
I've got this popcorn grub.
I love that slug. And it poops popcorn, so...
And the characters in the film eat it, so yeah. I've brought in movements which are kind of like strains. It's a fun little character. Yeah, I'm quite fond of it. I think I kind of want one for home.
There she is. It's Flying Sun Lady. We make a good team, I think.
We had our alien, the interpreter.
The translator was kind of the only one we committed to, and we knew was going to be a fully CG character. But they did build a little maquette that was the correct size, and costumes, had a little costume. So he was in the background for all of the shots for the good lighting reference in scale and framing.
It's actually talking the film. It is, isn't it? What's his voice was? It would be so funny if it was like a really high-pitched, squeaky voice.
I knew I should have called in sick today, Lloyd.
We're in the edit, and my editor, Tanya, says, you got to figure out who the actor is for this. They got to get started on the lip syncing. And I said, well, ideally it'd be Seth. And we got him.
He basically said, welcome aboard, please march your step.
Yeah, sure he did.
Ready, and action.
Miami Melia Sioteko, Maya Toluco, Maya
I was very drawn to the healer when I read the script. She had a lot of sensitive dialogue and a little bit of alien language. So the idea was that she has mechanical eyes and interesting features that she can wear, but it blends into her face and her neck and her mouth so she can speak and be very expressive. And her fingers were very minimally done with extensions so that she's got a delicacy to her. So she's not necessarily frightening, but she should come off as sort of a wise and caring creature.
Cram is our villain. He's a pretty punk kind of dude.
He has scarring and he has tattoo work and everything else. You really want to have a history with this guy. Even if you're not being explicitly told what that history is, you want to look at him and go, he's been around.
I heard you are looking for me. Wait, one last one. Oh, sorry, yeah.
He's very unpredictable, and I think unpredictability is the scariest thing you can have in a villain.
Is that fire?
This is pretty tricky makeup to do because it's all facial piercings. It really does have to be his face and then just those piercings on top, which is quite tricky to do because they're all individual little piercings. Then he's got the whole look together with the dark orange eyes. He'll have an orange braid coming out the back. He's got this big metal ornamental spine going down, so he's telling the world who he is.
You talk to my friend, they are outside. You see them, they look almost like me. Not completely, but a little bit. You talk to them, you ask permission. What you...
She's gone from the digital design to traditionally sculpting the makeup on the floor, but we're also doing stunt masks for him. That stunt mask is there so that VFX has something to anchor to and something to actually blend in. And who better to create the stunt mask than the person that did the design and the actual makeup as well. So it should be a one-to-one accurate of the actor on top of the stunt performer.
We'll give it like a beautiful flesh paint job, and then we'll be attaching all of these piercings and whatnot on top of that too. This is a neutral face expression. We're also doing one where he's got kind of like a aggressive fighting expression that we'll do as well too. So we'll have the two that they can choose from on the day.
Great. Thank you so much.
It goes right into character, and his
He
character really shows through it, but takes a while to get these things together. So when we actually seen him, the costume finished was the same day that we seen the legacy makeup, and it was one of those magical moments when you think, this works.
It's then that I realized like what we do is quite meaningful to help people in the world just to sort of escape for a few hours and have fun with their lives. And you realize we're very privileged to live in these worlds, to work with these actors, to be on these sets, to actually exist in these fantasy worlds for as long as we do. I live kind of in a world where I believe that there's a giant ape on a skull island someplace, or I believe that a young scientist named Frankenstein made a creature. You sort of have to think that way to help create these movies so that people will believe it too.
We can take that down, but I think we should also build that up.
And that's really what it comes down to.
I can feel the difference.